2 sweatshirts, a long sleeve shirt, my lined quilted vest, a hat and a hoodie. Actually wearing 2 pair of pants too. Hey Donald from Ohio, Johnny Dave, hello Annie, Candy Bars, hello, hello. Rhonda got a new phone, so she must have lost. Rhonda, did you lose your other account? Hello Elizabeth. Donnie's walking around with my action camera, getting some video, and I'm trying to stay warm. Hello, Adam. And it's not working, trying to stay warm. It's very cold up here, actually. Hello, Wisconsin, Dee Dee. Yeah, there's a wind that's blowing, and it's bird cold up here. Even though I have 3 blankets on. She enjoys seeing the cars. I'm not sure how long I'm going to be live, but for a while. As long as I've got some light. 50 degrees, but windy. And I'm on the third level, balcony. Donnie Dave said, do they have cars on both sides? Yes, they do have cars on both sides. And there are a few of the vintage cars that are cruising the Parkway. Said it's sunny in Indiana. Oh. No, it is cold. It's been raining here, and I'm not complaining because of the rain, because it was dry and like a drought conditions here, and it was a wildfire hazard. So we're thankful for the rain. Robbinsville, North Carolina. You can hear some of the vehicles have loud radios going on. I don't know how, if you can just hear the noise or if you can actually hear the music or not. Rhonda Skipper got a new phone and she's still learning how to use it. Hello, Michael. If you've never been here in Pigeon Forge before, during the Rob Run, these little scooters that they have down there, very popular to get around. Those are used by young and old alike. You know, the older folks, sometimes they have the traditional mobility scooter. Some of them have those little mini golf carts. Some of them have big golf carts, and then these little three-wheeler things, like a three-wheeler trike, they've become very popular here to get around because these cars go way up and down the Parkway. All the way down that way. We did see, we only saw one car actually leaving. But you know, people come here through the week and they don't always stay for the weekend. They don't always want to stay when the crowd gets real heavy and the you know, those jacked up trucks come into town. And see that one right there in front of us? Some of the people that have classic rod run cars, they don't want to put their car in jeopardy by one of those big trucks. We've got a friend that has a Corvette, and one of those big trucks backed up over his car recently when he was down here. So it's not the safest thing if you've got a classic ride to be around those big trucks. Elizabeth? We are in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. Walt said he misses the old rod run. Yeah, I do too, because the old rod run, the classic cars and trucks used to drive around and cruise the Parkway. And now they kind of sit along the Parkway, parked in these parking lots. But we walk around and look at them, you know. Is down there walking around now with my action cam to get some video of the rods. Elizabeth said, yeah, she got it from the cabin. Billy Hale coming from North Carolina. Yeah, I agree with you, Walt. I'm not into those, and they're actually when they're in the squatter truck position, they're illegal in the state of Tennessee. So they drive around without them squatting, just to not get them towed. Last year, a lot of them were towed away, pounded. The police are all over the place watching, you know, keeping an eye out for them. If they misbehave, the police are gonna impound their trucks. Seems to be every time I see it, someone too. So it's not older people. Walt, you're so funny. Walt said the lights under the wheels must be for when they break down, so they have light to fix the trucks. Jada loves Pigeon Forge and Gatlinburg. We do too. We love it. We live here. But we book a hotel when we can at the rod run, because we don't want we don't want to get towed, the car towed. So sometimes we'll just traffic can be rough. This traffic is actually moving way fast. It was like, stop, go, stop, go, stop, go, stop. You know what I mean? It wasn't stop and go, it was stop for the longest time. So sometimes the rain can put a damper on people wanting to be here, you know. Walking around looking at the rod runs yesterday, vlogging it, and when the storm hit, we just had to wait it out underneath an awning, you know. Tripod, and I'll do a live stream that way. I should be able to have a signal to get a live stream out. But walking around, a lot going on, so. saw Bear said that Pigeon Forge hires a lot of the Blount County police officers for the weekend also. Sometimes they also hire Knoxville police to come help them too. Make sure everything stays safe. There's a local pastor from Maryville, Tennessee, and he went over to South Africa to minister over there on a missions trip or something, and he was kidnapped by GUN Point, and so. His name is Josh Sullivan. Some prayers, everybody. He could use some prayers to be safe and be able to come home safe. In the name of Jesus. To his family. Elizabeth's going to grab some ice cream. It is too cold for me to think about ice cream. It is cold up here. Over that way is a little bit darker. It's darker over that way already. But over here we can still see a little bit of the sunset. I should have grabbed my winter coat. I thought my sweatshirts would be enough. I was wrong. Hey, Connie Spencer. Hello, Mark. Tammy said the temperature dropped for them after the storms. Temperature dropped here after it was storming too. I mean, like really dropped temperature. Teresa said she loves it. Thanks for sharing the live. dining, being on the sidewalk, putting their chairs and camping out on the sidewalk and stuff. Like this particular hotel has these balconies, so they'd rather have their guests on the various balconies or walking around enjoying themselves and stuff. But they, if without those barriers, people that aren't even staying here at the hotels will just put their chairs out there and claim the whole sidewalk, and then people won't be able to walk on the sidewalk because there's so many chairs. That happens all the time. Event. This is an annual event. It's been happening for years and years and years. This is the spring rod run right here. They have a fall rod run also, and then part of the rod run is also other car shows. Like one of the first car shows they have of the year every year is the Corvette show. And then they have the Mustang show, ponies and Smokies. There's a Jeep invasion. These are all part of the rod runs, but there's an actually spring rod run and fall rod run that are the big ones. Those are the big ones. But the Jeep invasion's a big one too. That's in the summertime. I think it's in June. And they have a truck show, which is the Ford F-100. They've got that show. They've got Chevelles and Pontiacs that come to town for a show. They've got multiple shows. Oh, and they've also got a Volkswagen show too called Circle Your Wagons. Josh said he wondered if the barriers were here from when someone got hurt. Someone was killed a couple of years ago, and that person was on a scooter going along, and someone in a vehicle, I don't know if it was a big truck or what it was, but they opened their door, and the guy on the scooter, he wasn't a kid, he was like a full-grown adult, but he was killed by somebody opening their door while he was going along the Parkway on the scooter. It is kind of dangerous sometimes to cross the road when those big trucks are out. I'm telling you, because last year, when we were crossing the road, one of these sections over here, like, you know, where you side to the other. There was a crosswalk where we were at the time, crossing the Parkway, and we got the crossing signal to go ahead and walk. So we started to walk, and a big truck come around that curve, did not stop for the people that were crossing, and just barreled on through. Almost hit my husband. So it's not. Those big trucks aren't very safe, in my opinion, for cruising the Parkway when people are trying to walk around and cross, go from one side to the other, and see all the vintage cars and stuff. Those trucks really should have their own show. They should not be here at the Rod Run. They should have their own week and not be here at the Classic Car Show, in my opinion, because of safety reasons. Dog says they show up to the one up in Wisconsin as well. Dog says, thanks for sharing this. Makes me ready for automation next month in Wisconsin. You're 100% correct. I go to the Rod Run and Shades of the Past to see old cars. Exactly. The Rod Run, Shades of the Past, Fall and Spring Rod Run are for the old cars. The old cars. That's what's been for years and years and years. That's why you come to see these old cars, including the old hot rod cars too. Old Corvettes, old Mustangs. Because we had a lot of rain, but it can be really hard to get. That's what they want. They want to take over. But last year, Pigeon Forge impounded a lot of those trucks. They need to behave so they don't get their trucks impounded. Tony said the noise level from some of the vehicles has risen extremely over the last 5 years, plus the amount of vehicles looks to have doubled. Cruising the Parkway isn't the same as it used to be. It used to be that the vehicles cruising the Parkway, there was a lot of vintage vehicles cruising the Parkway, but now, because so many trucks and other vehicles cruise the Parkway, the vintage vehicles, they don't feel like their vehicles are as safe out there. So they tend to park them now. So if you want to see them, you kind of have to either slowly drive through parking lots, get a scooter and ride through the parking lots, or walk through the parking lots, because that's where the cars are. for the most part. You will see some here and there that cruise up and down the Parkway for, you know, history's sake. They do have a truck show, but it's they scheduled Pigeon Forge allowed them to schedule the truck show last year at the same time as the rod run. And this year, I heard it was a different week, which I hope it is. They need to have their own week and not the same week as the vintage car show. I'm not trying to begrudge them to have you know, their own show and their own week or whatever. It just doesn't need to be the same week as the rod run. Rhonda said, I agree, Joy. Amen, Rhonda. Me and you, we see it like it is. Thanks for sharing the live. Yeah, I agree, Dog. It said I don't think it'll keep other cars and trucks out by moving it to a different weekend. I mean, if they have the money to come more than 1 week, you know, and they're going to come here and spend money to stay. I agree, Josh. No, it's actually illegal to have squatted trucks in the state of Tennessee, I've been told. That's why they're not squatting them. These are squatted trucks. They actually are squatted trucks, but they're just not squatting them right now because if they were, they'd get impounded. Tennessean said the rod run in the 70s was the best. Dog says car enthusiasts of all kinds come out, but some drive all different sorts of cars and trucks. Yeah, it's just safer for the vintage cars to be parked in the parking lots, you know? And not only that, but sometimes, like if you know, let's say you got a vintage vehicle and you're cruising along, but then somebody behind you isn't paying attention because they're looking the wrong direction and they run into your classic car. Geo Madcat said, are low riders the same as squatted trucks? I don't know, Dog, do you know that answer? Are low riders the same as squatted trucks? I don't think so. The low riders are like low when they park, and then they just lift them up to drive them, but they're not like the squatted trucks. They're because they're fully, I think they're fully lifted. Dog says, I would love to see Vintage drive the strips, but I understand they don't want something to happen. Yeah. Yeah. Nobody wants their car to get smashed into. Charles said it'll be very busy next weekend. Dog said squatted means the front end or rear end is lifted, but not both. What it, what I saw was like see that truck going by there with all the lights on the wheels. When we went over to Cookouts to get something to eat, it was lifted like that, like it was straight, the trucks over there, but then they squatted the back down. They have some sort of hydraulic thing on them to squat the back down when they want to. So in some states, I guess it's not illegal, but in the state of Tennessee, it is. They'll get impounded. Thanks for joining us, Josh. so cool, Gio. So cool. cars because that's what it's for. My husband's out there doing that right now while I'm sitting here live streaming because it's quite cold, quite cold. I am bundled up in multiple blankets and multiple hoodies. Said, yeah, the officer exited. I was looking to see if it was my cousin, Mike said. my text wouldn't even go through. It wouldn't even send a text from here earlier. I had to get up here on the balcony in order to get a signal. Yeah, you would think so, Tony. Think that they'd have to put in an ordinance for noise. I do know in Gatlinburg, because we were in Gatlinburg a lot, you know, the police have started pulling over vehicles for noise pollution that are going up and down the Gatlinburg Parkway. I tried to send you where we were, Eddie, earlier. I don't know if you got my message. Freezing up here right now, though. You wouldn't want to be up here. I've got 3 blankets on, 2 hoodies, a quilted vest, 2 pair of pants, winter boots. Steven says, have you caught any of the police one right in front of us just a little bit ago? Hey, Teresa Cantrell. Teresa said they'll be here in the morning. I sent you where we were, Teresa, too, so you can find us in case we're here. Did you get my text? Shooting to come up next weekend after the chaos. My husband and I love to run. Okay, look at over here. This truck is squatting a little bit. It's squatting a little bit. You see how the front is higher than the back? He's trying to squat a little bit right there on the Parkway. Not completely, but he is squatting. I told you they've got a lift. They've got some sort of lift in them in the back. See him? He's squatting. Showing you live. That's illegal in the state of Tennessee, by the way. See, because they can't see someone crossing the road or whatever, they can run right over another vehicle. Trying to do that outside of the police visual. wanted to get caught. They think it's cool to be high like a monster truck, because that's a monster truck is they're out there doing those monster truck things. But I agree, the squatted truck, I don't even understand the fascination with why they think that looks cool, to have the rear end way up high and the front end down, or the front end way up high and the rear end down. You can't even see that way at all. You can't see. Hey, Tiffany. Over the Parkway in Sevierville. See these people, those people on scooters right there, if they were trying to cross the street, that big truck wouldn't even see them if they were crossing in front of them. That's the danger right there, trying to cross the street, because people do walk around. That's what the Rod Runs for over here, is to walk the Parkway and then cross the street, walk the Parkway on the other side, see cars on both sides of the street. One of them big trucks almost ran my husband over last year when we had a crossing sign that said, go ahead and cross right now. We went at the official crossing area, and the truck came around and almost ran him over. I had to scream to get him to stop. there on the Parkway, there's an older truck there. Kind of turquoise looking. There's a few of the older ones coming out right now. Can you see them on the Parkway? A few of the older trucks are coming out. Arkansas boys in a Dodge truck. Hey, there goes the semi. He's carrying something liquid. Arkansas boy said, Casey said the semi wandered in on the fun. Oh well. As long as he's not trying to head over into the national park. They've had to turn a bunch of them semis around that tried to go into the national park. Hey, Maria. Yeah, there's a lot of lighted trucks out there. Arkansas boy said he's in a blue Dodge. Hello, Smoky Holler. I haven't seen it lag for me. I'm watching on my other phone. Yeah, Donnie's walking up and down the Parkway. Video clips of the vintage cars, so I can put out a vlog of those. Smoky Holler's coming down next Thursday, Saturday. down below us with its hood up. I don't know if you can see it. That truck just passed it. See that truck right there with its hood up? I can smell oil. I can smell oil, so it might be burning some oil down there. Their lawn chairs out on the Parkway in front of businesses and hotels. This is the Pigeon Forge Ride Run. Bars, it could be your weather if you're having some bad weather. Truck right there belongs to the squatter truck thing.
That thing's kind of quiet, isn't it?
Hunter said the worst time to go to Pigeon Forge is in the Jeep invasion. It's very busy, let me tell you, in the Jeep invasion. If you think this is busy, you should have seen the Jeep invasion last year. It was way more packed than this. You couldn't even drive but a few feet and get stopped. It took us hours to get somewhere. Got pulled over for tinted windows. He said 90% of the police are given tickets for window tint, not for towing or squat. Squatting is illegal in the state of Tennessee, just so you know. Dog said, "I can hear again, LOL." I will give a pass for it being an old truck. Maria, we are staying 2 nights. We booked for 2 nights here. Taylor said my daughter's friend has, I think, a Jeep. They're in it tonight. I wouldn't want to be in an open Jeep tonight. It is freezing. Blake said he lives in Tennessee. He knows squatter trucks are illegal. I'm trying to show you that down there there's the police have somebody pulled over down there. Maria said it was a good idea to get a hotel. Yeah. Well, and we didn't want to get our car towed from trying to find a parking spot either, you know? Maria said it's a good idea to put the fences up. There'd be lawn chairs all along.
This year? We thought this was the right place.
Yep.
What do you think about the Jeep right there?
No, the Jeeps are pretty cool. Have you been to the Jeep Invasion?
We've been everywhere.
I mean, when it comes here.
Yeah.
Yeah. You come here all the time?
Yeah.
Are you staying here for some time?
Yep.
Okay. I was parked down there because the police have someone pulled over.
Yeah, they just had someone pulled over right there too.
Yeah, I had that on too.
Yeah.
You stay here all the time?
It's either here or over there at the hill.
Okay. How's the room structure?
Well, this is nothing compared to that.
invasion is a lot of fun. People drive around at the Jeep invasion and they have signs on their vehicles if it's not a Jeep, and they said, I identify as a Jeep. It's very funny. And people will throw ducks at you. There's some lights flashing right here in the parking lot of the hotel. Behind the hotel sign. I wish it was like it used to be too, because it used to be that the vintage cars and trucks would cruise the Parkway, but now you don't see too many of them cruising the Parkway, just because these other big trucks and stuff, they could accidentally run into one of those, or somebody else's car could run into it, or truck or whatever, a vintage car, and ruin it. So now you see the vintage cars and trucks parked in the parking lots and stuff. A lot of the people will come rent a hotel and they'll park their vintage vehicle right there in the parking lot. and then taking up the space of the sidewalk. It allows people to walk up and down the sidewalk or take their scooters up and down the sidewalk, not to have it blocked by all the chairs. Kyle said, I bet tomorrow will be even a little crazier. Probably Saturday, Saturday in Gatlinburg is always packed, you know, and Pigeon Forge is just slightly less packed sometimes than Gatlinburg. But when these rod runs are, it's usually busy. Now, I don't know if you can tell, but it seems to me that the cruising vehicles is there's more of them joining the cruise now. It used to be they were more spaced out, but you see there's a lot more of them right now. Mike, I saw a bear, said, I'm staying in Wallen and locking my doors. See, look down the Parkway here. There's a lot more vehicles cruising now than there was an hour ago, even probably half an hour ago. It's like a lot more out there now. See, it's pretty busy. Cami Bar said, I saw a bear, LOL. Kyle said, where, Cami Bar? She's talking to Mike. His name's Mike. His channel name is I Saw a Bear. She's laughing at him. Maria said, is this the fuel line for Buc-ee's? LOL. Kyle said, oh, okay, LOL, I thought she saw an actual bear. Well, this balcony is the balcony for the whole hotel. So there are several people up here. It's a big balcony. This is not the balcony for right in front of the rooms. This is there's two balconies at this hotel, and so this is one of the two big balconies in the front here. Mike said he's got a cabin for a week in Gatlinburg. Have a great time. We love staying in cabins in Gatlinburg. The views are usually beautiful. There's another balcony right below me, and that's part, for the residents too. Over here, there's balconies all the way on this hotel, so people can sit right by their hotel room if they're in the front, right on their balcony, and just watch the Parkway. Kyle said, thank you for sharing this. He said he does the same thing when he's at Automation. This hotel right here is actually not pricey, but I'm gonna do a vlog on it, so it might not be for everybody. Donnie got it on a deal. This balcony is the best part. Yeah, Kyle, the roads are getting packed. Oh, we didn't ask if it was pet friendly. I haven't seen any dogs here though. Maria said, aren't you glad you don't have to drive home? Yeah, I'm glad we don't have to drive in and out, actually, because, well, Donnie will drive back in the morning, feed the dogs, and check on them. But we do have somebody coming over there tonight to check on them tonight. Let the husky out and stuff. Someone said, this is fun to watch as a local from home. LOL. sure the service in the area isn't the greatest with everyone there. Yeah. And somebody else said that there was a lot of people trying to go live on TikTok, and so the people are trying to stream and everything. It does get busier, and you notice a lot more vehicles are on the Parkway now than there were a little while ago. There's a Food City truck right there, Food City semi-truck coming in, deliver the groceries over to Food City. Maria said, Kyle, that's so true. Kyle said, luckily the spinning's not been too bad. Kyle said another semi wanted to get in on the fun. LOL. Thanks for joining us, Cammie. You have a nice night with your daughter. Yeah. Maria said, Food City has arrived. My winter coat in the morning when he goes over to feed the dogs. And maybe grab my my long johns too. Pants on, 3 blankets, 2 hoodies, a quilt-lined vest. I got the 2 hoodies over my hat too. And it is cold. It's 46 degrees and windy. Thanks for joining us, Lori. You have a wonderful night and weekend as well. Kyle said it's the wind that makes it so cold. Exactly. The wind is really cold. Yeah, Clueless said they hate being a local this time of year, impossible to get home. That's why we started renting a hotel room, just so we could enjoy the vintage cars that we love so much. We could walk up and down the Parkway, and we don't have to bother driving in and out. Old Bluff said, I bet the parts store sold out of the rear lift block so that half the trucks could legally attend. I see your comment now. Laura, I see your comment. my action cam, and he is walking around, Lar. I had to go back and read your comment. Greg said it's usually not cold this time of year here. Kyle said the hotel is the way to go. Maria said they're saying 20% rain in the morning, but after the noon hour, it will be clearer. Cold and rainy is not fun. There goes the Pigeon Forge trolley. By the way, just so you know, if you want to ride the Pigeon Forge trolley, it costs $1 each way. If you want to ride it all day, if you go to the trolley station, you can get a $3 ticket and ride it for $3 even to Dollywood. Otherwise, it costs $2.50 to ride to Dollywood each way, but $1 everywhere else. On my YouTube channel, I do have some trolley rides. Kyle said that's not a bad price. Yeah, I mean, park your car at your hotel, get on the trolley, go down to where you want to go, get off the trolley, ride the trolley back. You know what I mean? Mike, I saw Bear said it only rains when he's at work. LOL. He said he doesn't think it'll rain tomorrow because he's not working. Kyle said the trolley's trying to get in on the fun as well. Yeah, Elizabeth, I totally get it. She said I didn't bring my cars because of all the trucks. Yeah, you kind of got to cut. You kind of got to. If you bring your car, you got to cut. You got to park it and walk up and down the Parkway and enjoy the vehicles. Big M said, "I wonder what September's going to be like." It'll probably be busy. One Shot said, "How many burnouts have you seen?" They're probably up and down the Parkway too, but I've seen some burning rubber here close too. Ty, the trucks have been crazy lately. Not as much fun to see the actual cars. That's why my husband and I go up and down the Parkway. He's doing that right now, leaving me here bundled up, but it's still freezing. Yeah, Elizabeth said she would like to cruise the Parkway and show off her hot rod. I don't blame ya. I mean, that's the way it used to be. It would be safer to do it if these big trucks weren't here on the Parkway. But you know, they're so high, they don't see so well what's low underneath them. You know, so there's a vintage car coming right there. See it? There's one cruising the Parkway right there. Kyle said, I have a friend that told me I could bring one of his classics to the automation, but I told him I couldn't with how the traffic is. It's bad, if not worse, than what you have there this weekend. Mike, I saw Bear said, the trolley goes right to the front entrance on the park entrance, which is the employee entrance now. Sometimes people in the park see it and think it's a ride. Mimi said it's not like it used to be since the jacked up trucks are there. Exactly. I mean, Donnie and I always would walk. Sometimes we would cruise the Parkway too, you know. But a lot of times we would park and walk the Parkway. And it was really fun to see the vintage cars cruising the Parkway. Greg said, I'm sure you could use some warm Krispy Kreme donuts and coffee and hot chocolate right now. Yeah, Donnie likes coffee. Actually, neither one of us eat Krispy Kreme donuts. I only eat cake donuts. But I love hot chocolate. I could use a hot chocolate right now for sure. It's pretty cold out here with the wind blowing. Yeah, Kyle said he doesn't want to be responsible if something happens to his friend's vintage car. Yeah, I wouldn't either. Yeah, the Rob Run started last night, and then tonight, and it's going to be tomorrow night too. There'll still be some cars on Sunday, but most of them will be gone by Sunday. Yeah, Big M said, take the trucks home so the people can have a real rod run. Yeah, everyone misses the rod run the way it was, for sure. Pat says, I know the locals will be glad. I'm a local and I actually love the rod run.
We usually stay in the river ran, so it's cheap too. That's nice for them.
Yeah, we pray nobody gets hurt as well, Destiny.
Some people do.
Anything hot right now in my tummy. I feel good. birds out here. They are illegal in the state of Tennessee, the squatter trucks. And I think the jacked up trucks, regardless, need to have their own their own thing, and not during the rod run. It's not part of the rod run. The jacked up trucks, it's not. The rod run is these vintage cars that are here. Bear said there's a twisted piston car show last year. We've been coming to it ever since we moved to Tennessee. I've been coming to Pigeon Forge in Gatlinburg since the 80s, but I didn't move here until 2019. Four on the floor said, I'm across the street to your left. Over there somewhere. Drive safe if you're driving. Kyle's from Illinois.